Hey everybody, Ijaz here. Welcome back to another video. Now, we are just under an hour away from Ethereum's London hard fork, which contains the important protocol EIP 1559. In fact, let's have a look. We are exactly 43 minutes away from this hard fork. Will it happen? Will it happen smoothly? How can you take advantage of this? What does it mean? Let's get right into it. So, EIP 1559 is one of 5 different protocols, and it's the most important one within the London hard fork, which is happening in 45 minutes. So what it means and what they're trying to do is recalibrate the pricing mechanism for the gas fees in Ethereum. We all know that the gas aspect of Ethereum is one of the most prohibitive pieces, which is preventing users from having a good experience and preventing newcomers from adopting Ethereum, right? People want to use the games, they want to use the NFTs, they want to be able to utilize DeFi, but they're finding that the fees are becoming prohibitive. One, because of the expense of it, but 2, because of the lack of transparency. There's no predictability. And the kind of example I'd use here is like when you go to a car garage and you're not a mechanic, the car garage can say anything is wrong with your car and charge you any price, and you have no option but to kind of accept it. That's almost what's happening in the gas realm. You don't know what's going on, a number pops up and you want your transaction to go through and you kind of just accept it. And that's what this EIP 1559 is supposed to address. So we're moving from a price first auction to a base plus tip model. So what that means is currently, if you're transacting through MetaMask on the Ethereum blockchain, you will have to bid a number for your transaction to go through, for a miner to accept your transaction and to push it through onto a block. Okay. Now, like Andre Dzikia likes to use an example of, think of a bus which is going past. I like the analogy that he uses. Think of a bus that's going through, and you have to offer the bus driver an amount to incentivize him to take it, right? And he can take another person who offers more, and you just keep outbidding each other, and that often leads to people overpaying. Now, what Ethereum is saying with EIP 1559 is we're saying, hey, no longer are we going to do a price first model. We're going to do a base plus tip model. Okay. Now, the base fee is controlled algorithmically based on the congestion on the network. So there will be a formula which is running, and as things get busier, no different if you're booking an Uber, right? If you're in a hot period, the price of booking an Uber goes up. No different for your base fee. And the base fee can fluctuate plus or minus 12.5%, depending on how congested the network is, how busy the blocks are. But on top of that, you can still offer your tip, which is also known as a priority fee, to get your transaction front run, as in to get your transaction pushed through first for a miner to come and pick you up sooner. Okay? So you can offer that fee. And this will give the whole ecosystem more transparency, because the idea here is you're no longer having to guess what your fee is. You know what the base fee is, which is not controlled by the miners, so you don't feel like you're getting ripped off. That's done algorithmically. And then the tip is what you're offering. You know what you're offering in order to, you're willing to overpay to get your transaction pushed through quicker. So we've got that transparency there. That's really important. Now, again, now what happens? Let's have a look at this. So this is on the left-hand side, you can see what was happening currently. Right, so currently you had a situation before the fork happens where your fees come in. So the individual who wants to transact is paying fees that go straight to the miner. Okay, so you can see that coming straight to the miner, and then you've got your block reward also going to the miner. With EIP 1559, this big chunk, which is the fees on the left, is being broken down into the base fee, which I mentioned was algorithmically controlled based on the congestion on the network, plus the tip which you're opting to provide, right? So you're setting that tip, and the base fee is getting burnt. And I'll come on to what this means. It's the first time Ethereum is introducing some burning mechanism, and this is really important. And then the tip goes to the miner. Now, naturally, you can see from this diagram, this means less money for the miners. So we're going to come on to this and what this means. And the block reward still stays the same. The block reward, which is the miner's reward for carrying out the proof of work, which is the mathematic computer algorithm, SHA-256, which they have to complete in order to complete the transaction. They get that reward. I think it's 2 Ether. Okay? Right. So coming back to this. Why are they doing this? They want to make it less intimidating to use. We mentioned this. You're in the garage, the mechanic comes up to you and says, you got this wrong with your car. This is how much it's going to cost. You have no transparency. You don't know. There's no menu where you go, oh, this is how much things cost. You're just kind of stuck. You need your car fixed. You pay it. right? And that's what's happening on the Ethereum blockchain at the moment. People want to transact, they want to do things, they want to utilize the blockchain, and they're just paying whatever fee, and that can lead to overpaying. Okay, so once we can solve this problem, and EIP 1559 is going to be a big step towards this, it should make it easier to use DeFi, NFTs, games, all the amazing dApps that are being built on the Ethereum blockchain right now. It should make it easier and attract more newcomers. And that's a really important thing. We want to attract more newcomers into this space, and this transparency should help that a lot. Now, question here, will the gas be cheaper? Now, an important point, this is not, EIP 1559 is not of itself intended to reduce the gas fees. Now, naturally, you can reason why this would reduce the gas fees, because people aren't overpaying as often and they're understanding there's transparency, but that's not the reason behind this. The reason behind them doing this is to make it less intimidating to use and to make it more transparent. That's what Ethereum is saying, but naturally, we can see a world where that could lead to things becoming a bit more cheaper on the gas side of things, which would be great. Now, will ETH become deflationary? It's another point here. Will it become deflationary? Now, there are predictions, which now it's difficult to say. There's so many different moving factors in this to model out whether Ethereum is actually going to become deflationary. Now, let's go back a step. So we mentioned that Ethereum after EIP 1559 are going to burn the base part of the fee, right? So the base part of this fee, so it's a base plus a tip, the base is going to be burnt. Now, what that means is it will no longer be in circulation, and that can have a deflationary aspect to Ethereum, okay? Now, EIP 1559 is not going to be enough to make Ethereum deflationary, but after Ethereum 2.0, which we've been waiting a long time for, and some people are saying that's going to be early 2022, and we'll see about that, but after Ethereum 2.0, some analysts are suggesting we could see ETH supply reduced by 1.4% per annum. And that would be some serious deflation, and that could skyrocket the price of Ethereum if done correctly. So definitely one to look out for there. Now, the important thing to note now is the amount burned will need to outpace the network inflation, right? So naturally, you're going to get some network inflation. The amount being burnt through the base fees needs to be greater than that number to overall have a deflationary aspect. And if Ethereum can actually start having a real tangible deflationary aspect, this is going to be massive for Ethereum. We've seen what has happened with Bitcoin and how people are flocking to Bitcoin given their lack of confidence in the fiat currencies and the inflation we're seeing post the virus. And if Ethereum, along with all the applications they have, which Bitcoin doesn't, could introduce a deflationary aspect, that would be massive and it would really shake the market for sure. Now, the final point, which is really useful here, is the fact that Ethereum are doing this London hard fork really shows that they're actively developing. And this is important. In the Bitcoin space, in the blockchain space, it's really important that cryptocurrencies are proving that they're still working on it. They're actively managing their blockchain, and they're constantly developing it and making it more suitable for their users, right? And that's critical. And that's going to be a big step for Ethereum. So there you have it, guys. That's a summary of what we're seeing in the next, how long we got left? In the next 34 minutes. So hopefully that goes smoothly. I'm going to try to get this video out so you guys can see it before then, and we'll update you thereafter. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.